sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You can hear me. All right. Um, are you good now? Okay. So you're going to make me do my intro again. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers. And I've got with me runaway friend, brother, interesting human being, amazing fella, um, intelligent but very crafty. He has not been crafty to anybody else but me. I don't know if he has done it to you. I know that he only does it to me. So I'm not calling him a crafty human being. I'm just saying that he has swerved me a few times when he was supposed to share NSC with me, and he ended up giving me Remy Martin. Anyways, I'm happy to have right here on Boom Radio after 1 million years.
No, just three.
It's just, Abby.
Just three.
3 years is just to you. Yemi Saka.
Well, Happy New Year. On Happy New Year Day, it's nice to be here after 3 years of break. It wasn't my fault really. You never did me free to invite me.
It's the also. I didn't invite you.
You didn't. You just felt like, okay, that guy's just one small boy.
Yeah, me, I didn't invite
You
you.
can't chill with the big boys. I can't be running.
You want to bamba? So basically, you're saying that me, I was running kitty kitty.
No, you are the big boys. So I'm the one aspiring to run.
Tell me now, who blamed you?
God.
All right. Thank God, say man no be God and God no be man. And to all our people listening outside Nigeria, we bid you a warm welcome. Thank you for being there for us. We love the feedback. We love the fact that we're being listened to in different parts of the world, and this is one of our USPs, and we're very grateful. We will be doing something on Mali and Sudan any moment from now. We are talking to fellow radio stations in Mali and Sudan, and hopefully we'll be able to get in-depth analysis into what's going on in those places. I know Yemi has an inroad into Sierra Leone, and we know that a lot of things has gone down. But now we're ready for those kind of things, because the idea is to be the voice of the people. The idea is to
Sorry, a new adopted country, South Sudan too.
And South Sudan. We need to bring out the facts. Like, so at times, the media, our colleagues, our mainstream colleagues, they are constrained. We get it. At times, it's not that it's just that they are constrained. Then at times, they just don't have the connect.
The plug.
But, yeah, we'll do a lot of that. And again, just to let you guys know that from Monday next week, at past noon Nigerian time, we'll be unveiling something real nice and fresh for you guys. So once again, without further ado, it's the Boom Bar. Yemi, cheers to you, and cheers to a great year, man.
Yeah, sure. Start out with a good note.
Yes, and again, you were at the bar when we used to display all those brands, Sprayly and all of that.
Yeah.
But now we're using cups, yellow cup, red cups,
Yeah.
until a brand comes to pay us. Let them come and pay. But you see, right behind me, if you're lucky to view it, you'll probably see some brands there. They are bottles that we have bought at different points in our journey.
Yeah.
So we're keeping them there as a memento. Every bottle there has a story,
Okay.
from the day 1 to day 3 of Boom Radio NG. And hopefully you'll be around where we're popping 1 or 2 of them, or 3. But regardless, that's not what it's about. So today we're going to be talking about music, sports, entertainment, and everything in between. A lot of things are happening in and around our world. So what happens in the bar? We kick back, relax, we talk,
We talk serious things.
Our USP is that we prefer solutions.
Yeah.
It's not just to criticize. We can criticize Buhari today and praise him tomorrow, and then criticize him immediately. It's the truth. That's what we do. And I know one person that will never praise him.
No, well, for what? Maybe for obvious reasons.
The only part where Yemi cannot really criticize him is in the area of amendment, like talking about how it might have at least
Are you kidding me?
up the ante.
Are you sure about that? No, don't let us go there.
Yemi's going to praise him a lot.
No, I won't. I will never.
I love this guy. Whatever it is, man. You know, I know that I can draw him out, and I'm
no, but truthfully, if anybody is kidding himself or deluding him or herself that we've equipped the army in the last 5-6 years, I'll tell the person is a joker. Not because we've not bought things, but we are buying things we don't need. I won't be here shouting.
You know, one of these days, let's do an expose on that. I differ on a little bit with you, especially in the area of drones and stuff. I think we've made some improvement in our aerial power and all of that.
No,
and our maritime power.
You see, when it comes to, I would not blame the Navy because whether we like it or not, the waterways.
Are there improvements?
The waterways and water have not really come under threat.
Are there improvements?
There are improvements. There've been improvement. There was a time, I'm not trying to. I won't be dropping names. But in 2009, I was on a flight to Abuja, and luckily for me, I ran into the deputy director of procurement, Nigerian Navy.
That bed was very loud. I thought I'd reduced it.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize to our listeners and our viewers.
I ran into the deputy director of procurement, Nigerian Navy, and we had a fantastic conversation. And as at that time, I knew what they had in plans for the Navy. So when it comes to Navy,
like the roadmap.
Yeah, the roadmap. And for Navy is fantastic. For me, it's just the Army and the Air Force, and I've been shouting, especially the Army. So,
but those MRAPs and other things, you don't think they are improvements?
They're probably, you see, there's something called scope paper. And I don't know, I keep questioning who has been drafting the scope paper since 2013 till date. So it's not just about this government. We are buying things we don't need for now.
The Dongfangs and all of that, you don't think we should spend money on that?
We shouldn't.
So do you agree with me? Let's make like an expose and
we should because I was gonna run something by you. I think the best we have, which is what I know we need, it's is the Hind, the attack helicopter produced by Russia. I think it's a MH27 and 25.
And what about the new attack copters that we're getting from Turkey?
When are we getting it?
Hopefully sometime this year.
Early next year. I would probably wait till when we get it before I start praising these guys. Because for me, I kept saying that if you think America will not sell us the 4th generation of Apache, which is the most recent.
But there are options to the Apache now.
Yeah, I know there are options to the Apache, but I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're losing our audience.
Okay.
You see, this is why I don't like this guy. This guy likes, the military.
No, it's not about liking the military.
He's good at it, so I defer to him too. I won't lie.
Okay, maybe at some point, if you want us to talk about it, I probably want to run a list through you about the attack helicopters and but that will be maybe in the course of the program.
Yeah, not this program. You know why, Yemi? There's a lot to talk about, and a lot of things are happening in Nigeria at the moment. And of course, like you said, that we talk serious things too. It's not like we talk serious things all the time, but we just try to make light of these things because we believe that we can achieve these things without busting a muscle, but basically still preferring solutions, which is what we do. So I want to get back to this thing that we're discussing, and just to let you know that if you're watching us on YouTube and you're more comfortable with Twitter, we're streaming on Boom Radio NG1 at Twitter, and also on Facebook we're streaming on Boom Bedu. Check us out on Boom Bedu. That's Bedu is GBEDU. Boom is BOOM GBEDU. Boom Bedu. And Yemi was supposed to stream, but apparently he doesn't know how to set up a tripod.
Well done.
Gotcha. All right, Yemi. A lot of things is happening in our country, in our world, in and around the world. Let me get a quick take from you on the Australian Open and all the drama surrounding Novak Djokovic.
Well, there's a bias on my part because I am a fan of Rafael Nadal.
Me too.
So you probably if it's not defending title, well, fantastic for me. But I think Australia did what they should do.
You know they have the toughest border in the world, right?
Yeah, they do, and I'm proud of them. And the sentiment was set aside. You can't be bigger than a country. I think nobody can try that in Serbia. So what you can't do in your country, why do you want to force it on other people?
Why do you think it's difficult for Novak to get vaccinated?
Well, it's opinion. It's opinion, and I can't begrudge him for having one. It's his life, it's his body, and the conspiracy, the counter conspiracy, the arguments, and the counter.
I'm going to ask you a personal question now.
Yeah.
Are you vaccinated?
Sure. I'm even looking forward to the booster jab.
I got my booster 2 weeks ago.
Well,
we all got it.
Yeah. I'm still gonna do that because for me, like I've not turned to a vampire. I'm still waiting for that one happen. And it's just you see, I think we need to say this to people. There's a different place for God in humanity, and there's a different place for science in humanity.
So everybody should take its natural place.
Yeah, and but what I found disdainful, what I found irritating, intellectually infuriating, was the way how some religious leaders, especially pastors, they're playing games with vaccination.
Yes, and I remember when I was at the primary care center to have my, I think it was the second dose of
to get your jab.
Yeah, the second jab. I remember a guy telling me that it took the husband so much to convince his wife that's a medical doctor to go for vaccination.
Medical doctor.
Because a pastor said.
So what did she learn in medical school?
No, and for me, I said, I dare that pastor, that Jericho wearing pastor, to go to South Africa. And see if you allow them to.
Okay, I think I know. I think I know who you're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
But so look, this is what we do on Boom Radio, and some people love us for it, some people hate us for it, but we won't stop doing it. We urge you to observe all the COVID-19 protocols, and we urge you to get vaccinated. We urge you to get vaccinated. My volume. Get vaccinated. Please do get vaccinated, and avail yourself of. It's free. The vaccines are free. You're not going to spend nothing on it. Again, remember that COVID-19, Omicron, Flocron, whatever cron, they're still with us. So observe those protocols. Stay away from public places. Don't touch surfaces, and when you do, carry a sanitizer with you. Wash your hands frequently. But Yemi, speak honestly. Speak your mind. Please.
I will. For me, I think my own anger against the way the government was, the way they handled all this COVID-19 thing that got Nigerians skeptical or suspicious. At the point it was copy and paste. They're locking down in Europe, let's lock down in Nigeria. They're having partial lockdown, whatever, let's have a partial lockdown here. And I at some point, I came up with something. I'm not going to come out here and start telling you, take this, take this, take this, take this. But I know people that had COVID-19 and they took alternative therapy and it got better. I have a friend of mine that when he was in UK, his younger brother caught the virus, and I told him, okay, get this, and get this, and in 1 week he said, okay, Yemi is better, he's getting back to his feet. And I'll tell you, in spite of this, or even of what you've taken, do not discard the real, what we know as medicine or therapy that we used to. But now, I'm now asking a question. Nigeria as a nation, we should tell ourselves that we don't have what it takes to protect or cater or care for our people. I was expecting a serious-minded government to say, okay, fine, there's an Institute of Medical Research, what are you really doing there? Please, let people come up with alternatives that they can come up with to treat this COVID.
But
subject it to medical, whatever.
Have you heard the news about Afe Babalola University?
Yes, I did. I read
the approval that they got.
Yeah, but
the approval is global. It's not just Nigeria.
I know, but look at how long it took us. In fact, the federal government was even negated. I think the federal government just felt the COVID-19 was a franchise that must be sustained.
They should have done more
in the
area.
We should have looked inward.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come and start praising Madagascar.
What about the fact that they actually increased funding for research? It's never been done before in Nigeria.
You see, I just, when you say these things, Shola, I laugh.
released on paper or released in the real world?
In the real world.
Well, let's wait and see. And you know, there's another thing for the government to release it, and there's another thing for those research institutes to really make use of it.
You do remember the case of the school, the research institute in somewhere in the south, you know? Okay, if the audio can be increased, okay. How do I? Sorry, guys. We're getting feedback about audio. So, okay.
Is it mine? Is it okay? I think it's better.
It sounds better now, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the feedback about the audio, and maybe I need to also speak to the microphone more than I was doing. And remember the case where there was a visit to one of the research centers, and they didn't find anything on ground, and after a little bit of probing and media exposure, it was found that the CMD of that particular institute was trying to be funny with the funds that they got. Apparently, over 30-something institutes in Nigeria got close to 1 billion naira. Confirmed. You me?
I know, and but it's so sad that I think the unpatriotism is at all level. And ask yourself, when are we going to get it right as a country? When are we going to get it right as a nation?
We're going to say corruption. It's always corruption. But the thing is, look, government has its own failings. But who is government? It's you and me now. I'm not talking about the elected people. The reason why I say it's you and me is that there are a lot of things that we have found out in the course of doing this job that you wonder why some people are in some positions.
No comment.
Yeah. Let me tell you one funny thing that I heard today. Someone tweeted something, and she said that she's trying to get a Nigerian passport, and she's angry because there's no more business. Do you know why?
Why?
You know that they are arresting immigration officers now, the ones that do the passport racketeering.
Yeah.
So she wanted to get a new passport, and she went with the old mind of, oh, you know, the official price is maybe 25K. Then you pay like 40K, and they tell you to come back in 3 days, and you get it. So she got there, and nobody wants to take money from her. They're telling her to go and pay online, to go through the normal process. And the lady actually tweeted like, I don't like this. But it was because some people were actually made scapegoats in the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That is can we say what?
Someone said, "Don't worry, normal service will resume very soon."
No, sure. It's just 2 months. Remember, we are all here. We are alive when Obasanjo came into office, and Nigerian police officers across the nation will just see you, check, observe you, pay you compliments, wave you on. It was just for 6 months.
It didn't even reach 6 months. Was it up to 6 months?
You know, late Bola Ige
of blessed memory.
Came and said yes, they will fix NEPA in 6 months. And for the first 2-3 weeks or a month into it, we're having light 24 hours a day. And the next thing, back to normal.
Normal service resumed. Sad story that, which I shouldn't actually be laughing when you came up with that, because we know how painful that was. Because it didn't end well.
It didn't.
It didn't end well. And it also is happening in the NPA, in all the parastatals.
Well, I think I followed Professor Mark Conjola, Dr. Mark Conjola was of Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, or was it? I don't know. The fantastic guy.
He's very versed in that industry,
and
in that subsector.
I just keep asking myself, but
okay, you know what? So it's the Boom Bar, your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers, and I'm hanging out at the bar with my friend Yemi Saka.
It's nice to be here. I'm having fun.
Yes. So Yemi, there are a couple of things that's happening in and around Nigeria, and I want us to run through them. I am going now to thewheelnigeria.com, and they have a screaming headline that says, "Breaking: Nnamdi Kanu pleads not guilty to treasonable felony charges."
What are you expecting?
So, according to them, Nnamdi Kanu has pleaded not guilty to 15 charges bordering on treasonable felony and terrorism brought against him by the Nigerian government. Again, before you answer that, yesterday when Nnamdi Kanu was brought to court, The judge had told the DSS that they should not bring Nnamdi Kanu in the same attire again. The 3 or 4 times that he has appeared in court, he's been seen wearing that same designer dress and top, the top and the bottoms, And again, after the judge told them yesterday, they brought him to court today wearing the same thing.
There's no way we want to say this thing that we probably want to cut Muhammadu Buhari as a president some slacks. We will not. It's rather unfortunate. It's so disheartening and sad that the DSAs and every other agency,
they define the court.
Not just that, they are brazenly arrogant. They disregard to other institutions, and we don't need strong men.
You need strong institutions.
And Nigeria is paying the price for having a passive strong man. That's not even that. My opinion is not even strong enough to call a strong man.
All right. So that's your response to him being brought back in the same attire.
You saw what they did to Show, right? You saw how.
So
I don't know.
We know that Chief Mike Ezekome, senior advocate of Nigeria, is the new lead counsel of for Nnamdi Kanu, and he's saying that as of yesterday that he has filed a 43-page preliminary objection for the charge to be quashed and struck out without the matter proceeding to trial. He feels that Nnamdi Kanu's case should not even go to trial.
He's a lawyer and he'll do his job. And I was not surprised that Nnamdi Kanu pleaded not guilty, because I remember cast our mind back to what's a panel when Colonel Fadipe said he was the only person that pleaded guilty to the treasonable charge of trying to apply the coup of 1997. And when he said it was told to sit down a couple of times, he still said he maintained the same plea. Even said nobody will own up to yes, I'm guilty, accept that he's guilty even as the charges is treasonable felony. He will not. So it's expected of him. That's the normal thing he will do. Okay. And you want to exhaust all judicial means and options, available to you before you accept you're guilty. So
a little bit of drama happened in the court, you hear me? Back to what you said, and we talked about how the Justice Nyako had said that he didn't want to see Nnamdi Kanu in the same clothes. Meanwhile, the Fendi, the designer, it's a designer wear, it's a Fendi. And the DSS actually said that because the judge told them to get him orthopedic mattress, an orthopedic mattress, pillows and blankets, and for his appearance to change. Now, the DSS came back to court saying that he refused to wear something else, that he insisted on wearing his Fendi again today. Then, in his own response, his lead counsel, Barrister Mike Ezekome, now said that it's not true, that his client did not insist on wearing the designer clothes. That's the Fendi that we now know him to wear all the time. That based on the time proceedings ended yesterday, they could not get something to him on time. He said, "My lord, what happened was that by the time proceedings ended yesterday, and because it was not his visiting day, we were not able to pass to him some clothes we had obtained for him." And we discussed with him this morning, and he said that on the next visiting day, he would want to have new clothes. So, on the one part, the DSS in court said he insisted on wearing the Fendi clothes, but his defense counsel is saying that they didn't even have access because it was not his visiting day. And you would have thought that because the judge has said, "I don't want to see him in this," they can waive that visiting day thing and say, "Bring him clothes."
Now, I want to ask you a question. Okay, if the DSS wanted to prove a case that he insisted, and they know they're going to face the judge today with the same thing, they would have brought evidence proof. This was what we bought and we offered him, and he said no.
And he said he's not wearing it.
So you should, you see, I'm afraid to say, I don't know why some people just take delight in lying.
All right, taking delight in lying, but this is not a lie. The next story is also related to Nnamdi Kanu, and this is coming from the dailytrust.com, you know. And at the bar, we want to take a look at what they called a breaking story a few hours ago, a few minutes ago, that a court has ordered the federal government to pay Nnamdi Kanu 1 billion naira for damages. And let me do a quick run through of the case. Justice Benson Anya of the Abia State High Court has ordered the federal government to pay the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, that's IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, the sum of 1 billion over infringement on his fundamental human rights. The court said that damages to be paid to Kanu were for the invasion of his house.
Which is on paper, which we all know.
Yeah. The court also ruled that the Umaya High Court has jurisdiction to rule on extradition cases, as one of the applications was solely on the status. The judge stated that the defense counsel did little or nothing to defend the evidence as provided by the plaintiff. Aloy Ejimako, lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, in a suit filed on the 27th of August 2021, sought an order of injunction, restraining the federal government from taking any further step in the prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu, in the charge numbered FHC, blase, 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 blah. Bottom line is that this court, is saying that the government should pay Nnamdi Kanu 1 billion naira.
Well, that's a judgment of the High Court, whether wrongly served or whether wrongly reached or concluded. It's a pronouncement that must be obeyed, and the federal government has stipulated time to file an appeal. If the grace of appeal lapses, that means the federal government has to pay and has to abide by every provision of that ruling.
But what if in this case there's a higher court that is sitting on the same matter?
Well, that's what it's not left for the higher court to that higher court to vacate that ruling. I don't think a federal high court can vacate the ruling of a state high court. It takes the appeal court to vacate the ruling and take it back to maybe to the federal high court and take it away from the state high court.
And the court is also stating clearly that it has the jurisdiction to hear this case.
Because whether we like it or not, it's a court of the land. That's why would they try somebody? Why would there be a pronouncement in Ebonyi against the case of Lagos to fight the federal high court? The court, you bring in the matter to me and I will hear it. It's, as long as the law says I can hear it. Well, and if the government felt that the high court doesn't have the right, they wouldn't have come up with a defense team.
All right, so it's really going to get interesting in the next couple of days.
And if they don't appeal or find a way to vacate that
judgment, it becomes binding on them.
Justice Yako is just wasting our time.
All right. Okay, it's still the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG, and we are taking a look at national issues from different perspectives. We are speaking our mind. We have the drinks, we have the guys, we have the platform. A big shout out to 01 Bookie who's watching on Instagram, and a couple of other people who are watching on YouTube, and all of that. So God bless you guys. Thank you. If you have not downloaded our app, we have an Android app at the Google Play Store, at the Play Store. Please search for Boom Radio NG. Add the NG to it because there's a Boom Radio in the UK. There's a Boom Radio in Australia. We're not affiliated in any way, but the NG shows that we're Nigerian, and we're
might be someday.
Never can tell. We can never acquire them. So that's what it is, and God bless you. God guide you guys for always being there for us. We're still talking about issues in the southeastern part of Nigeria, surrounding IPOB, surrounding Nnamdi Kanu, and all of that. So on the one hand, we talked about the court in Abuja. We talked about the court in the southeast that's saying the federal government must pay $1 billion compensation to Nnamdi Kanu. Now, still staying with that, there is a story in the independent.ng. The Independent is another national daily that, of course, has been around for a while. And there's this headline that goes, "Gunmen enforcing sit at home kill APC youth leader and one other person in Enugu. And this story was published, I think, a few hours ago. And the opening part of the story is that there was tension in Enugu as gunmen enforcing a sit-at-home order attacked the Enugu South local government office of the All Progressive Congress during their meeting and shot dead the state youth leader of the party, Mr. Kelvin Ezeoha, and one other member. As the sit-at-home order enters the third day, you know, there are activities in the state. What's your take on this, Yemi?
Well, I cannot find any justification for the lunacy in the southeast. I will not. Yes, while I have my reservation about how badly managed the situation was by the federal government, especially Nnamdi Kanu, and how it justified the killings of Nigerians, innocent Nigerians, or by non-state actors. Yes, I also want to blame the federal government for failure of enforcing and ensuring public safety. Where is the police? This sit-at-home thing has been going on for so long. We understand how, in fact, at some point, it now became aggressive. Where is the police? And should we always see them when people are protesting at Lekki peacefully for them to just turn on against them? Where are they when they are needed? Innocent citizens, people from Southeast, yes, they might be sympathetic or passionate about IPOB or Biafra, but they want to have their life.
Has been frequent and rampant in the southeast,
Well,
eastern part of Nigeria.
Well, if care is not take like drifting to anarchy in that part of the country, we're going to have a government, an outlaw government within a nation, and if we don't clamp down on this to sort this thing out on time, we're probably going to lose that region.
So